It's Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck is the answer. Charlie Heck is the future. Charlie Heck is the peak of human evolution. Therefore, Charlie Heck will have the biggest impact. No, I'm just kidding. But, I mean, the Texans draft class is pretty small, really small, actually. Only 5 players. Obviously Ross Blacklock, Jonathan Greenard, Charlie Heck, John Reed, and Isaiah Coulter. So their draft class is pretty small. I mean, right off the bat, you can eliminate Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck's not going to start. Isaiah Coulter, he's probably going to get IR stash. So, yeah, that leaves 3 options. Ross Blacklock, Jonathan Greenard, or John Reed. Now, the corner position, you got Roby, you got Conley, you got Lonnie, you got Hargraves. So John Reed's gonna probably not see much playing time. So it really comes down to 2 players, and that's Ross Blacklock and Jonathan Greenard. Now, which one of these guys will have the biggest impact? Well, it kind of depends. Well, I think it would depend on who you ask. Because if you look at Ross Blacklock, the reason why he's here is to get pressure on the quarterback from the inside. Now, I've said this before, not everyone can be a prime J.J. Watt back when he was Wade Phillips, the early Romeo Crennel days, where he was rushing from the inside and he would get crazy pressure, crazy amount of sacks. You can't be like Aaron Donald, like Grady Jarrett, Chris Jones. Not everyone can be like that and rack up double-digit sacks from the inside. It takes a special kind of player to do that. Now, can Ross Blacklock maybe develop into that? I mean, yeah, sure, if he drinks plenty of orange juice, does plenty of sit-ups and push-ups, and maybe one day he can develop into a player that can do all that stuff for us. But to expect him to come in here his rookie year and do that right off the bat, that's extremely unrealistic. Now, what you can expect him to do is come in here and just get pressure on the quarterback, push the pocket, make the quarterback, roll out right into Whitney Merciless or J.J. Watt. Now, that is actually realistic. So what I'm saying is, his rookie year, Ross Blacklock, he's not going to show up in the stat sheet. He's not going to be a guy that gets a bunch of sacks. And, maybe he'll never be that guy, but something you can expect him to do is get pressure. So, to the casual fan, to the people that don't understand what Blacklock's job will be, to those people, Blacklock won't really have much of an impact because they're not going to see the stat sheet. You know how some people are, stat sheet watchers. So to them, Blacklock, he's not going to show up in the stat sheets. So to them, he's going to be like a nobody. But to us, people that know what he's supposed to do, people that actually know football, people that know Blacklock's impact and what he really brings to the table, then to people like us, then one of the acceptable answers could be Ross Blacklock. Now, personally, and this is just me, y'all have to agree with me, I think Jonathan Greenard will have a bigger impact than Ross Blacklock as a rookie. Keep in mind, this is as a rookie. Later on, like I said, Ross Blacklock improves, does push-ups, sit-ups, drinks orange juice, eats his little Flintstone gummies. He's going to get better, and I think he's going to turn into a very good player for us. But as a rookie, I think Jonathan Greenard will have a bigger impact just based on the role he will have. Because if you recall, about maybe a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, Anthony Weaver had an interview, one of those little Zoom interviews, and he talked about Jonathan Greenard, and he said Jonathan Greenard can rush off the edge, he can rush from the inside, he can drop back into coverage, he called him versatile. So, it's easy to infer that Greenard is going to be a huge piece early on to the Anthony Weaver defense. Now, what the Anthony Weaver defense is, I'm pretty sure you guys have been hearing everyone say this, but Anthony Weaver is not going to run your generic Romeo Crennel defense. He's going to be running more of a hybrid between a Crennel defense and a Rex Ryan defense. And if you recall, Rex Ryan loved blitzing. He blitzed a bunch. Exotic blitzes was his thing. So Anthony Weaver, he coached under Rex Ryan, so he will be implementing some of that into the Texans defense, so you'll see a more aggressive Texans defense next season. Well, that's supposedly, so, for me, I'll believe it when I see it type of thing, so, yeah, but that's apparently what Anthony Weaver is going for, and I like Anthony Weaver, so I kind of do believe him, but again, I'll believe it when I see it. But anyways, if you're going to run a defense like that, you need a player like Jonathan Greenard, and Anthony Weaver pretty much already said it's going to be him, a guy who can pretty much blitz from anywhere, inside, outside, anywhere, and Anthony Weaver already said he could do that, and also occasionally drop back into coverage. Now, I'm not talking about this guy having to drop back and, cover Tyreek Hill and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about, covering the shallow parts, the underneath routes. Nothing special, nothing big. Just occasionally dropping back into coverage to confuse the quarterback. And that's going to be Jonathan Greenard. He's going to have that role on the defense. So he's going to have a pretty big role on this defense early on. And I feel like in that role, blitzing from all over, occasionally dropping back into coverage, you're going to see him light up the stat sheet way more than Ross Blacklock. You might see him get more sacks than Ross Blacklock. I'll even say he's going to have more sacks than Ross Blacklock his rookie year. And hopefully he completely takes away all of Brennan Scarlett's playing time. All of it, because Lord knows we do not need Brennan Scarlett out there. But see, there's more to Jonathan Greenard's game than just, simply being a little piece to Anthony Weaver's defense. He can also be a good pass rusher for us, in base defense. He can also set the edge pretty well. So this is an all-around, well-rounded player. But what gives him an extra boost over Ross Blacklock is the fact that he might be that guy that Anthony Weaver kind of moves around all over the field. So you'll probably see Jonathan Greenard, like I said, light up the stat sheet more than Ross Blacklock. Definitely more than any other rookie we have. You'll also see him jump out more on film because I feel like it's easier to put a guy like Jonathan Greenard in position to succeed because of all the things he can do, as opposed to a guy like Ross Blacklock who can really only play on the interior. I've seen some people say, what if you put Ross Blacklock at edge rusher? No. What if you drop Ross Blacklock into coverage? Actually, I've never seen anyone say that, but still. But yeah, you can't do that. You can't do much with Ross Blacklock besides what he's supposed to do, and that's be an interior rusher that gets pressure. But yeah, he's still going to be fine. He's still going to be good. He's still going to have an impact, but I just think Jonathan Greenard will have a bigger impact based on where he's going to be used, how he's going to be used, and I guess being a more important piece to Anthony Weaver's exotic defense, his hopefully more aggressive defense, because like I said, I'll see it when I believe it. And don't get it wrong, when I say a more important piece than Ross Blacklock, I don't mean oh man, F Ross Blacklock, Jonathan Greenard is better, Jonathan Greenard is more important. No, because each player will have a different role. Obviously, Ross Blacklock getting pressure from the inside is very, very important because we saw it last year in the playoffs against Patrick Mahomes. We could get no pressure. Absolutely no pressure on Patrick Mahomes. Now, obviously, part of that was Romeo Crennel's fault for not putting in Charles Omenihu and Jacob Martin in there. So hopefully, like I've been saying this whole offseason, hopefully Anthony Weaver is smarter with his substitutions, puts the pass rushers when he needs to put the pass rushers. But with Ross Blacklock, instead of having tubbies like Brandon Dunn, DJ Reader, Angelo Blackson, Carlos Watkins, who can get no pressure on the quarterback, we're going to have a guy like Ross Blacklock who can actually get pressure on the quarterback. So, yeah, Ross Blacklock, very important player to this defense, but I feel like Jonathan Greenard is a little bit more important because of all the things he can do. And honestly, I don't think we have another player on this team. Maybe McKinney and Cunningham, but you kind of want to keep them in the middle of the defense. But other than them, I don't think we have another player who can do what Greenard can do, because Whitney Merciless, can Whitney Merciless really rush from the inside? I don't think so. Jacob Martin, dude is too small to rush from the inside. Duke Ejiofor, we haven't seen him in a while. He's been hurt, so you can't really say him. And Brendan Scarlett, dude can't even rush from the outside. Dude can't even set the edge. Dude can't even play special teams. So, yeah. Brendan Scarlett's not the answer. So, Jonathan Greenard, besides McKinney and Cunningham, he's really the only guy who can do what Anthony Weaver wants him to do, the role he wants him to play. So, I think he's a very important player to this defense, and that's why he will have a bigger impact. He'll light up the stat sheet and he'll fly out on film because he's going to be put in position to have a bigger impact early on. And yeah, that's just my opinion. Comment down your own opinion. Let me know if you think Charlie Heck is going to be the rookie with the biggest impact. Let me know who you think is going to be the rookie with the biggest impact. And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.